Only 10 students have joined till now. For your next class, children, all should join the Google Classroom by 9:48. Okay, by 9:48, everybody should join the class. At sharp 9:50, we'll start the class. Okay, today, children, we are going to do speech writing. I think already you have done in class 10, but again, we'll do this. Okay. Now, before we start speech writing, tell me what is a speech? What is a speech? Any one of you? Just whatever comes in your mind, whatever you understand, you say that. Any one of you. What is a speech? Aniket? Aniket is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me
Yes, ma'am.
what is a speech according to you?
Ma'am, a speech is something which is used to express the feelings or thoughts you have, or some to articulate words in front of anyone.
Yes. Good. Speech, like Aniket said, is to share your views, your ideas, your thought, to express yourself, or it is a formal address. But the main thing is you should have an audience. Okay. So, in front of a group of people, expressing your views, your ideas, your thoughts, or a formal address in front of a group of people. If you express your views to your friend, it won't be called a speech. It will called a conversation, isn't it? So there should be a group of people. There should be an audience. Okay. Now, many a time, sometimes we are allured and attracted towards the words of the speaker. and we go on listening to the person. And sometimes we get bored. We don't want to listen to the person speaking, isn't it? So tell me, what do you think makes a speech interesting?
Ma'am, how the speaker expresses his words by his hands or how he show and the beautiful words he use.
Yes, good Bhavya, your gesture, okay, and your vocabulary, choice of style and
Ma'am,
vocabulary, clarity. Yes, Bhavya,
ma'am, confidence.
confidence, okay.
Ma'am, the ability to connect with the audience.
Yes, very good. You should have the ability to connect yourself to the audience. That is, relating yourselves with the audience, okay, to the topic. Okay. Then what else? What else? Tell me. Usage of quotation, examples of day to day life, anecdotes, isn't it? So, this makes a speech interesting. Okay. And when you're giving a speech, you have to see that whether you want the people to be informed, or you want to convince them to whatever you're saying, or you want to entertain them, or you want to persuade them, isn't it? So you should know this. Now, okay, later on we'll do the format and all. Before that, I'm going to show you video clipping of Barack Obama. Okay, so that you can get an idea how to give a speech. And I'll ask you what makes Barack Obama's speech interesting. Okay. Who is Barack Obama? Excuse me. Who is Barack Obama?
Ma'am, he was the 44th
Ma'am,
president of the US.
Former president of US.
Okay, very good, Gyan and Ayush. Okay. So I'm just showing you a short clipping of Barack Obama's speech. Okay. Can you see, children?
Yes,
yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. And here?
Barack Obama in 2000
Yes, ma'am.
was totally unknown. People were saying, I don't know who this guy is. I wonder why they picked Obama in 2004. Was totally unknown. People saying, I don't know who this guy is. I wonder why they picked him.
His reputation as a bit of an upstart, as sort of a young, rising figure in the party, but no one knew who this guy was. This was his chance to introduce himself to people.
Tonight is a particular honor for me because, let's face it, my presence on this stage is pretty unlikely. My father was a foreign student, born and raised in a small village in Kenya.
What makes a great political speech is if you now fold your story into this larger American story.
The next thing he says is about his family. His grandfather fought in World War II. He used the bill. They settled in Kansas, so white people could say, oh, he's just like us.
My parents shared not only an improbable love, they shared an abiding faith in the possibilities of this nation. I stand here knowing that my story is part of the larger American story, that I owe it to all of those who came before me, and that in no other country on earth is my story even possible.
going into this speech, we've had 4 years of George Bush, and we felt as a country like we've grown further apart.
'04 was very much a divisive partisan race. Obama's speech is in some ways an antidote to that.
Alongside our famous individualism, there's an ingredient in the American saga, a belief that we're all connected as one people. If there is a child on the south side of Chicago who can't read, that matters to me even if it's not my child. If there's a senior citizen somewhere who can't pay for their prescription drugs and having to choose between medicine and the rent, that makes my life poor even if it's not my grandparent. It is that fundamental belief, I'm my brother's keeper, I am my sister's keeper, that makes this country work. E pluribus unum, out of many, one.
He gives a speech that presages his entire political message in 2008, which is this sort of post-partisan argument.
Now, even as we speak, there are those who are preparing to divide us. The masters, the negative ad peddlers, who embrace the politics of anything goes. Well, I say to them tonight, there is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America.
Obama was born with two great gifts. One is his mind, and the other is his ability to speak to large groups of people.
There are three things that Obama does that really makes that speech effective. He wants concrete detail. He likes story, and he loves antithesis, the use of repetition and structure to show contrast. There is not a liberal America or a conservative America. There is one America.
There is not a black America and a white America and Latino America and Asian America. There's the United States of America. The pundits like to slice and dice our country into red states, blue states, but I've got news for them too. We worship an awesome God in blue states, and we don't like federal agents poking around in our libraries in the red states. We coach Little League in the blue states. And yes, we've got some gay friends in the red states. We are one people, all of us pledging allegiance to the Stars and Stripes, all of us defending the United States of America.
The way he uses his hands, he actually points a lot, does a lot of this, a lot of that.
In doing so, he gives off this sense of energy. I am new. I'm someone who is dynamic.
And he doesn't do that so much anymore. He's a little more solemn and reserved when he gives speeches today. And I think it's more reflective of his office.
In the end, that's what this election is about. Do we participate in a politics of cynicism, or do we participate in a politics of hope? It's the hope of slaves sitting around a fire singing freedom songs. Hope of immigrants setting out for distant shores. The hope of a young naval lieutenant bravely patrolling the Mekong Delta. The hope of a mill worker's son who dares to defy the odds. The hope of a skinny kid with a funny name who believes that America has a place for him too. Hope in the face of difficulty. Hope in the face of uncertainty. The audacity of hope.
His appearance at that convention, which was the best speech of the convention, better than John Kerry's, was electrifying. And without it, he wouldn't be president.
I think sincerity. There are people who, when they speak the truth as they see, and they're very effective doing that.
I believe this country will claim its promise, and out of this long political darkness, a brighter day will come. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you.
Okay, so you got an idea?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you tell me, what made his speech so effective? You must have observed how he was speaking, what he was speaking, isn't it? and then there were the critics there. So you all must have analyzed, isn't it? So a little bit let us discuss so that you also speak like him, you also write a speech which is effective and which is able to convince the audience, isn't it? So tell me one by one. Shreya Chaudhary is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you tell me any one point. What do you think? What made Obama's speech so
Ma'am, the strength in his
electrifying?
voice.
Yes, Shreya, what did you say?
Ma'am, the strength in his voice and his words.
Okay, so you mean to say his voice modulation,
Yes,
isn't it?
ma'am.
Okay, 1 point. And then Prakriti Prakash,
Yes, ma'am.
you tell me.
Ma'am, he interacted with people very much by not boring them, by not telling the history of America or what has happened in the past. Instead of that, he told about his own story, which influenced people to listen him more.
Very good. Okay, so he related himself with the public. Good. He told his own story. Yes. So anecdote. So this is how children you have to use short stories, anecdotes. Okay. Good. Next, we will say Ankita Gupta. Ankita Gupta is there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You tell me 1 point. What happened? Okay, anyone of you has something to say about the speech? So this is how children you have to share your personal opinion on the topic. Okay? Mentioning all the details, statistics, data, and giving everyday life examples, day to day examples, and connecting yourself with the public, with the topic. Okay? And most importantly, when you're concluding the speech, like Obama's speech, it should end with a hope. It should be optimistic. There should be positivity whenever you conclude a speech on any topic. Okay? Clear, children? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So take out your copies. Take out your copies. I'll just give few points. I hope all of you have English copies, notebooks. Take it out. Uh, write in the index, station writing. Write today's date. Now, the format, children. Like in article, you write the topic at the center on top, isn't it? In speech, we are not going to write the topic separately or at the center. Okay? Now, you tell me first, uh, when you start a speech, how do you start a speech? You tell me. How do you start a speech? You all have been giving speech from class 1 on stage, isn't it? Many of you. So how do you start a speech? Yes. Bhavya?
Ma'am, to make more attractive, we can add a quote on
No, no.
starting.
Before that, I'm just asking you, how do you start a speech? Just tell me, how do you start a speech? And then we'll discuss how can you make your speech more interesting. Okay. That is what you are saying, Bhavya, how to make a speech interesting. We'll discuss that. But first tell me, how do you start a speech?
Ma'am, by greeting.
Yes. Good, correct. Okay. So first is addressing the audience. Okay. Then introducing yourself and the topic. Okay. Greeting or addressing the audience. So write in your copies first. Write down. Now, children, listen. Any sort of essay, article, speech is usually divided into three parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. Now, body can have more than one paragraph. According to ideas, the paragraph changes. Okay, but mainly it has three parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. So, first we'll do the introduction. So, write down in your copy first paragraph. Put a slash part. First paragraph or first part. Okay, if you don't divide the body into more than one paragraph, then you can take it as second paragraph. So first paragraph, put a dash, write down addressing the audience. Just in phrases I'm giving you. Addressing the audience, introducing yourself and the topic. So only this should be written in the first paragraph or first part. Addressing the audience, introducing yourself and the topic. And when you are introducing yourself, you have to mention the name that is there in the question. Okay? Don't write your personal name. Okay. Now, it is your style of addressing the audience or greeting the audience. Okay? It can be, good morning, one and all. Today, I, Ankita, is going to present my views on the topic so and so. Or it can be, good morning, respected principal, teachers, and my dear friends. Today, I, Prakriti, would like to share my views on the topic so and so. Okay, so it is your style of addressing the audience. It can vary from person to person. But these 3 points should be there: addressing the audience, introducing yourself, and the topic. And uh, before addressing the audience, you can start with a quotation, or you can use a quotation anywhere you wish to write, mention. It can be in first paragraph, second paragraph, or conclusion, anywhere. Okay, or you start with a quotation, your wish. Understanding, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this should be written in first paragraph or first part. Okay. Now next we come to the body. Okay. Now, as I said, if you wish, you can divide the body into more than one paragraph. Okay. Here we just have to elaborate and explain the topic in detail, giving examples, quotation, okay, opinion, pros and cons, advantages, disadvantages. I'm telling you a general uh, point of view. Okay. According to the question, you have to write. Explaining the current situation, the problems, if any, okay, and whether any measures have been taken to correct the problems. Okay. So all these things will be written in the body of the speech. Okay. So yes, Bhavya, you were saying how can you make the speech interesting? Tell me. So that all can be included here in the body. Yes, Bhavya. Yes, Bhavya.
Yes, ma'am.
That time you were saying, isn't it? How you can make speech interesting?
Yes, I said that in the starting we can add a quote to make it more attractive and interesting.
Okay, good. Okay. Similarly, you can start with a quotation, or you can use a quotation anywhere in the speech. Okay. Either in conclusion or in the body or the introduction. Okay. So write down second paragraph. First paragraph you have written, addressing the audience, introducing yourself and the topic. Second paragraph, write down explanation in detail. In phrases, I'm giving you explanation in detail, comma, elaborating the topic, comma, current situation, presenting the current situation, excuse me, presenting the current situation, comma, problems, if any, problems, if any, advantages, put a slash, disadvantages. So according to the topic, children, okay, I'm just giving general points. And one more thing, children, if suggestion and solution is given in the question, like uh, give suggestions to curb the problem of crime in India, then suggestions will be included in the body of the speech. But if in the question it is not mentioned to give suggestions, then in the third part, that is the conclusion part, you are going to write the suggestions or the solutions. Clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, second paragraph written. Now, the final part, or final paragraph, conclusion. Now, in conclusion, children, you will give solution, write down solution, put a slash, solution, put a slash, suggestion, summarizing the topic, giving your personal opinion. Summarizing the topic, giving your personal opinion.
Ma'am, making strong statements.
Yes. Okay. And most important thing is you have to end it in a positive note. As we saw, Barack Obama, isn't it? Hope. Positivity should be there. On whichever topic you speak, at the end, the speech should be able to convince the crowd, persuade the crowd, and you have to end it in positivity. Okay? Clear, children? Now, another important thing is introduction and conclusion should be written in just 5 to 6 lines, not more than that. Okay? And the body can be divided into uh, 2 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs, more than 1 paragraph. So, conclusion shouldn't be more than 5 to 6 lines. Okay, everything you to summarize in short. And quotation you can use anywhere. Okay. Now, another thing is after you've written the speech, concluded, written the conclusion, after that you will write thank you. Okay. At the end, okay, at the bottom, you're going to write thank you. 2 words. Okay. Now, children, uh, just check your classwork. Just check your class. There's a question there. Just see. Did you find the question? Yes. Aishi Kumari, read the question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So this question, children, you have to do it. Okay. And post your work. Now, one more thing I would like to tell you all. You have to memorize one quotation. Okay. One simple quotation related to education, one quotation for education, one quotation for communal harmony, one quotation on health and environment. Okay, so these quotation you can use in any topic that is given to you. These are general sort of quotations. Okay, and this will help you even in class 12. Okay, did you all understand what I said, children? You have to memorize one quotation related to education, one quotation related to health and environment, and one quotation related to communal harmony. Understood, children?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that you can use this quotation on any that is given to you. Okay. And whenever you write a speech, you have to give at least one quotation. And suppose if you're not remembering the quotation, you can just say it is rightly said so and so. Okay. But it would be good if you mention the quotation in inverted commas. Okay. And when you're telling the topic, writing the topic in the introduction, write the topic in inverted commas. Okay. So speech writing is clear, children? Yes? Now you'll do the question that is given to you, and each one of you should post your work, children. Unless until you post your work, I won't be able to know how much you have understood or what you haven't understood. Okay. And soon
Okay,
you
ma'am.
and soon you will be asked to submit your copies also. In the other subjects, I think you're submitting your copies.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So in English also, you'll be asked to submit your copies. Okay, we are all so keep your maintain your copy and records and everything. Okay. Okay, children. Time. Next day we'll do chapters from snapshots and onward. Okay, children. Complete the work and post your work. Okay. You may leave. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.